Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. So actually, I know. So what we are going to do, like yesterday, I shared a couple of things. So I would like to explain because sometime it was not clear. So I will just take 10 minutes to explain this before we go further. So these questions were there. So first question was, you are the CEO of Amuse Me Inc. Shareholders have shown interest in maximizing business opportunity in an amusement park. You have two options. See, in the real life, when you are doing projects, there can be not only two options, there can be five options. So when we are saying two options, it doesn't mean in life or in reality, there will be two options. There can be five options, there can be 10 options. So, but when you are doing a calculative option, so the decision tree, this is also called as a decision tree. In a decision tree or earned monetary value, when you are calculating, you want to give a numerical analysis of what is going to happen. So you are considering all the positive chances and all the negative chances and summing up to get the number. So question is, you are the CEO of Amuse Me Inc. Shareholders have shown interest in maximizing business opportunities in an amusement park. You have two options: either build a new park investing $8 million or revamp an existing park investing $3 million. If you build a new park, there is a 75% chance. 75% chance means 0.75 in probability, you can say, or 75 by 100, you can say, or 0.75 if you want to write the probability number of a high demand, and you will realize $15 million in revenue. So 75% probability is there that $15 million you can generate in revenues. But with every good thing, there is also a negative side. So they are saying when there is a weak demand, of whose chance is 25%, which means 0.25, you will realize $5 million in revenues. If you revamp the existing part, second option is there is a 60% chance of high demand, 0.60 chance of high demand, and you will realize $10 million in revenues, and a 40% chance of a weak demand, and you will realize $2 million in revenues. Should you build a new center or you should revamp? What is the EMV of either option? So what we have done is we have to build or upgrade. So this one was not the thing. So this one. So build a new park in $8 million or revamp an existing park in $3 million. The question says there is a chance, high demand, that 75% chances are there that you will generate $15 million. And if there is a weak demand of whose probability is 25% or 0.25, you are going to generate $5 million. So how much, what should we do? And in the second phase option also, the situation is high demand is equal to 60% and you will generate $10 million. And if there is a weak demand and you will generate probability is 40% and you will generate $2 million. So what is the trick of doing these questions? So build a new park by investing $8 million. But how much you will generate? First case, positive case, you will generate $15 million. So that means you spend 8 million, you are generating 15 million. So what is the profit? So the profit is going to be $7 million. So it's a good thing. In the second phase, build a new park. If there is a weak demand, the probability is 25%. So what we are doing, you are spending $8 million and you can generate a revenue of $5 million. So that means 5 million minus 8 million. So you will make a loss actually of $3 million. So we are taking positive side, we are thinking the negative side, or you can say optimistic attitude you are doing and the pessimistic attitude you are doing. That in one case you can generate $7 million as profit, in one case you can do $3 million as loss. Similarly, so for revamping also you will do the same thing. You are spending 3 million and you are generating 10 million. So 10 minus 3, 7 million. It's a good option. 3 million you are generating, you are spending, and you are generating 2 million. So that means you will make a loss of 1 million. But now there is probability. So we will calculate the percentage, the earned monetary value on the probability. So what we have done, so when we are calculating on...
Sir, are you sharing screen?
Okay. I will not sharing. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Is it coming?
Yes.
Sorry. So I'll repeat it again very fast. Build or revamp. If you are building a new park, you are spending $8 million and there is a 75% chance of the demand being high and you can generate $15 million. And if there is a weak demand, the probability is 25%. You are generating $5 million. So this is the condition. And if you are revamping an existing park, you are spending $3 million and there is a positive chance, high demand, 60% chances are there, probability is there 60%, and you can generate $10 million. In the weak demand, you can generate $2 million. See, this percentage number can change. Now what they are saying, $8 million you have spent and you have generated $15 million in the first case. So that means 15 minus 8 is $7 million. So you are making a profit of $7 million. It's a good thing. Second thing, it is saying if there is a weak demand, 25% chances are there that there can be a weak demand, you will generate $5 million. So if you will generate $5 million, but you have spent already $8 million, so what will happen? 5 minus 8 minus 3. So in fact, in reality, you will make minus $3 million. Okay. Similarly, when you are revamping an existing park, what you are doing, if there is a high demand, you will generate $10 million. So 3 million you have spent, 10 million you are generating. So how much you are making? 10 minus 3, 7 million profit. In the second condition, you have spent 3 million and you have generated 2 million. So that means you have made a loss of 2 minus 3, which is equal to minus 1. Now, if we calculate the earned monetary value, actually it is EMV, earned monetary value, EMV, it is from one of the participant screen I am sharing, EMV. So what happens if you share you do the earned monetary value? So you will consider the positive and negative side. So what is the positive side? 0.75, correct? How we are calculating? If you see the previous one also, what is happening? The change that you are making. So you will do here 0.75 into 7 plus 0.25 into minus 3. So if you will add, it will become 4.5. In the second condition, 0.60 into 7 plus 0.40 into minus 1. So it will become $3.8 million. So we will see the EMV is 4.5 and here EMV is 3.8. So the higher earned monetary value is the one that where we should invest. So out of the two options, you will be building a new park. So earned monetary value is equal to, because the earned monetary value is higher, so you are going to build a new park. Now, if they want to make another question out of it, so they will say, what is the difference between the earned monetary value or of the two options? What is the difference between the two options? So you can do easily 4.5 minus 3.8, $0.7 million. So you are going to build a new park. So this is how this question is done. This is very, very important. You can always expect a couple of questions coming from this. There was also one more question that we discussed in the class, and that one was this question. Should you build your factory or upgrade your factory? Building a new factory, you have to invest $120 million, and there is a chance of 60% that you will generate $200 million, and there is a chance of 40% that there will be weak demand and you will generate $90 million. In the second way, option for upgrading the plant, there is a 60% chance that you will there will be strong demand and you will generate $120 million. And if there is a weak demand, you will generate $60 million. So these are the options given. Now you have to find out what to do. So what we do, build or upgrade. You are investing $120 million. And in the case of a strong demand, you are generating $200 million. You invested 120, you generated 200. So that means 200 minus 120, you got $80 million. In the second case of weak demand, you invested $120 million and you got $90 million. So that means 90 million minus 120. That means you are making a loss of minus 30 million. In the same way, for upgrading option, you are investing $50 million and you will generate $120 million. So 120 minus 50, 70, and 50 million minus 60, 60 minus 50, 10. So that means now we have to calculate the earned monetary value. So what we will do, strong demand, 0.60 into 80 plus 0.40 into minus 30. So if you will calculate it, the earned monetary value is coming is $36 million. In the same way, here we will do what? 0.60 into 70 plus 0.40 into 10. The earned monetary value came as 46 million. So you see the earned monetary value is 46 here and the earned monetary value is 36 here. So 46 minus 36 is 10. So that means which option we will do? We will follow the option of upgrading our factory or plant or anything and not in building it, because the earned monetary value is 46 million. And what in real life is earned monetary value? It is like you are take the positive chance and negative chance, and based on the probability, you try to come up to a number which can give you a realistic data. So, and how this percentage probability comes? From the market condition, market assumptions, and everything, research, survey, and everything. Can this go wrong? Most probably it doesn't go wrong. It can go only wrong when something unexpected. Like example, you have expected that there will be a strong demand, and COVID came. And now COVID came, and nobody predicted that COVID would be such a big devastation that approximately the whole world will stop. Nobody expected it. Nobody thought about it. See, in my life, from the childhood till now, I have never seen the world stopping for any reason. There have been some disputes, fights, riots in some places, some countries, sometime for month, 2 months. That is fine, but not the whole world is stopping at a time. The whole businesses is stopping at the time. Everything is stopping. Many small businesses, many small companies got shut down. The reason is that this is something which was not planned. This is like cause of nature. Now everything is expected to be fine. All of a sudden earthquake came. Everything got finished. So this is something which is beyond the market or the expectations or planning. So God, so if you like nature, force, or God, if you whatever you say, so those things are coming, and we don't have any like control over those things. Other than that, in the realistic world, when there is nothing unexpected coming like this from nature, you can expect everything to fall into this category approximately. So this is a good way of decision making. There you can see in one of the more decision. Just a minute, some people are asking for this one on Monday. It will be uploaded as Sunday is a holiday in the office. So this one was the article that I wrote just few minutes before we started this class. And the topic that I wrote here is, why do small companies or small or medium-sized companies fail when they stop listening to customers and employees? So I wrote an article especially about this, because many companies, they do fail into this reason. They stop listening to customers, they stop listening to companies, and they fail. So now going back to our presentation. So is there anything, see, there's one more way by which we also take the decision. It's not a part of PMP, but as a, like, future value of money. Do you know future value of money? Time value of money, if you want to do. See, the formula, this formula, you please note it down. Present value is equal to future value by 1 plus r to the power of n. This is a formula to calculate the future value and present value of that money when you are spending into a project. Suppose you have two options. Example, there is a hospital that you want to make, and there is some residential complex that you want to make. Or you are a person who is thinking whether I should spend the money in bank or whether I should invest the money in some project example, or 2 option, 3 option, or somebody on your personal front also, they say to you, you invest money here. Like, it is very, very popular in India and many other places. Like there is something called as Life Insurance Corporation of India, or these insurance companies. What happens there? So they tell you, example, every month you give me 5,000 rupees. Okay. For how many years? 20 years. Let's see what happens in real life with this thing. It's not here, but it's good to know. So they say you that, okay, keep me 5,000 rupees per month. So unit you can convert. That means in 1 year, how much you are giving? This much money, 60,000. And they will tell you that you keep me paying every month for 20 years. So you are paying 1.2 million Indian rupees. They will say to you, you know how much we will give you? So you will say how much? So they will say you, when at the time of 20, after the 20 years, I will give you 2.4 million. So you will say, wow, I just spent 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, and I'm getting what? 2.4 million, twice the money. It's a big amount of money. I'm just giving 5,000 per month. But if you see the future value of the money, So example, what I'm trying to say, example, 1 million of today, what it will be after 20 years? Can we calculate? So we can calculate. What you will do? 1 million, you put here, present value of 1 million. Or if they promise to you that we will give you 2.4 million, so you put future value here. And 1 plus R means what? 1 plus rate of interest to the power of n is missing here, because it is the number of years also. It's not the correct formula. Here, time value of money. This is correct. Future value divided by present value, 1 plus I to the power of n. I means interest rate or rate. So what you will do? Example, if I have to calculate, so I will put future value as 2.4 million or 2.4 just. Present value, you want to know how much? They are saying me that after 20 years, they will give me how much? 2.4 million. So how much will be 2.4 million as of today? You want to calculate. So 1 plus I to the power of n. N is what? Number of years. So you can put n is equal to number of year. And what is I? I is the interest rate. How you find the interest rate? It is generally calculated from the inflation. See, I will tell you, you must have heard stories from your parents, grandparents, that I have also heard a story from my mother, who says that when she was a small girl, they would get in Indian 1 rupee, 1 kg of ghee. In 1 rupee, you get 1 kg of ghee. Then you think, oh my goodness, how cheap it would have been. And definitely it was cheap. But now you see, what is 1 rupee value in 60 years before? What was 1 rupee? And what is the value of that 1 rupee as of today? So if you want to compare, so what is the formula? We will do this calculation of, and I will show you how to do this. So let us say future value is 2.4 million. Okay. You want to find what is the present value. So you say future value and 1 plus I to the power of n. So I is generally the inflation rate. So you will see generally 9%, 10%, it is generally kept year by year. So example, you will see last year you were buying a bottle of milk, let us say in 10 rupees, example, or 10 dirham, 10 real, whatsoever you say. And this year you are getting in 11 rupees. So that means 10%, the prices have gone up. The inflation has increased by 10%. Let us keep for calculation percent, 10% only. So what we do, 1 plus I is what? 10. So 1 plus 10% it is. So 1 plus, how much it will become? 1 plus I will be what? So we'll do it on, I think, on a pen. So it's easy for us to note. So we are now so What is the formula generally we use? FV, future value, is equal to PV, present value, multiplied by 1 plus I, or you can, instead of I, you can always write R. So generally I write 1 plus R, that is the interest rate, and then you multiply it with N. N is the number of years. N is what? Number of years. So we will put this value here. PV, we don't know PV, and future value we know it is 2.4 million. So let us say 200, or let me see whichever zero can come here. 2400, 24,000. Let us say 24,000. I will just say 24,000, and we will see what is the present value. Or 240,000. Okay, 240,000. PV 1 plus R. So let us say 10%. So 1 plus 10% means 10 by 100. So it will become 1.1. Clear? Rate is 10%. So 10 by 100 or 0.1. So 1 plus 0.1 becomes 1.1. And then N is how much? 20 years. So can somebody calculate 1.1 raised to the power of 20? 1.1 raised to the power of 20. So we will do 24,000, 240,000. I will put one more zero, 2.4 million. I want to. So divided by 1.1 to the power of 20. So 1.1. Where is exponential? To the power of 20. 7.727. So let us say 7.274. So we are taking this number 7.227, 7.27, 7.27. Let us keep 7.27 for calculation purpose. Now we will do this. 2.4 million divided by 7.27. 330,000. So the present value is 330,000. Can you see how the price value will change? So in fact, they are not doing something great. Only one thing is there, that in insurance is there, that if God forbid somebody dies. Other than that, they are giving you less money than they are taking from you. Three 330,123. One more zero approx. So can you see, this is how the future value calculations are done. So it's a very good way by which you can understand in real life that out of all the projects, where I can spend the money, where I can spend the money. Is it clear? Somebody wants to ask anything? Even you can say, you can go in the back. So example, you must have heard your parents saying, so let me check if there is a calculator. Time value of money, TVM calculator. So you know, somebody says, in my time, in 5 rupees, you can buy this. Okay. So let's see if it is like that. TVM calculator. So present value. So you know, future value. So I don't want to know the future. I want to know the, so let us say annual rate we'll keep 10%. Let us say 11% we keep. Period we keep 60 years. Before, my mother was saying example that in 1 rupee we can buy the ghee, 1 kg. Okay. PMNT, I don't know how much. So we'll see. No. So let us say my grandmother saying 1 rupee, you buy this one. So I want to see what, so present value, I will put 1 rupee because that is what I'm saying. Future value, I will consider is as of today. And interest rate, let me keep 11%. Number of periods, I will think 60. years. Let's see what it happens. 60 years it's coming or what? Let's see. 524. See, that means it's becoming a big number. It becomes a big number. So the things you can calculate, you can see how the things are happening. Is it clear? Just it is to make you understand. Like example, some people say, I invested in gold, I invest in property, where I should invest. So you can always see the price changes that is happening, the market changes, the inflation, and everything that is happening in the market. Now we come to the topic of project procurement management. What is procurement management? Purchasing. Anything that somebody wants to ask. Is the numerical clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
If there's anything, please ask, because in Sunday generally people are coming less. So what is procurement? Procurement means purchasing the right product, right service, or the right service or result at the right time and at the right price. Project procurement management includes the process necessary to purchase or acquire product, services, or result needed from outside the project team. Why the word outside the project team? Say there may be in your company also a couple of things that you don't need to purchase. It happens. Suppose you may have some other thing like suppose you may have like example, for one of your project you need some machines. Those machines are already in your company, you don't need to purchase it. So it will not become a part of procurement management because you are not purchasing it. Purchasing management will happen only when you are purchasing it. So project procurement management includes the process necessary to purchase or acquire products or service or results needed from outside the project team. Plan procurement management. When we say plan, so what are the steps? Plan procurement management, conduct procurement, control procurements. So procurement or purchasing are more or less the same thing. I'm not saying exactly the same thing because there is a couple of difference. And like if I think in our group, Naga sir is doing this particular training on supply chain management. Correct, sir? You are doing on supply chain management, correct?
Yeah, you are right.
So if you will do supply chain management, there is a topic. What is the difference between procurement, purchasing, and supply chain management? So any thought on that? Anything you want to tell the people? Basic difference. There are some differences.
Supply chain is like a broader concept. Procurement is like a operation.
Yes, sir.
What else you mentioned? It's like a functional specific. And procurement in fall and like supply chain.
Yes, you are right, sir.
Supply chain basically from supplier to the manufacturer to the distributor to the
Yeah.
complete chain.
Correct. So what happens, sir, in our purchasing management, when we say purchasing, it's like normal purchasing of anything. Procurement is one step ahead of purchasing. It's end-to-end purchasing. But when we are talking about the supply chain, you are concerned about from where it originated till the last step, including the shipping, logistics, everything, insurance, everything till the end. So most of the time, if you'll see, the procurement is one step ahead of purchasing. Purchasing is small, procurement is one step ahead, and then comes the supply chain management. That is why instead of people used to before do the course on purchasing management, but they are now doing supply chain management because supply chain management will be from start till end. It also includes, like example, vendor managed inventory, VMI, and all those concepts will come as a part of these all things. So when we say key concept for project procurement manager, so we say project manager does not need to see when you are as a project manager, you do not need to be an expert, but you should be just familiar with the procurement process to make intelligent decisions regarding contracts and contractual relationship. So when we say contract and contractual relationship, I think I have not shared in your group, but there are four things when you are buying from somebody, some companies, especially international companies. when you are purchasing something. So there will come an option where they will say, can we, so they will say the quotation is based on X work. Then they will say the quotation is on CIF basis. Then they will say quotation is DAP, and then they will say the quotation is DDP. Any idea what are these things? Anybody? The quotations, procurement, because as a you have to look after the procurement. So this thing will come. CIF, when we say CIF, X work. See, X work, when we say X work, that this shipment, this consignment, the thing that you are buying is in X work, it means there is no shipping charges included. You have to collect it from the manufacturer or supplier's factory premises. That means, example, you ordered a furniture. Okay, example I'm saying. So the furniture is saying, see, our price that I've given you is X work. So you say, what does X work mean? You have to come to our factory, take it from our factory. We cannot ship it to you. We cannot send it to you. So you say, okay, suppose there is a company based in United States of America, and you are getting it shipped, let us say in Philippines, in Manila. So you say, we cannot come to your factory and take. So can you send me on a CIF basis? CIF is cost assurance freight. So what they say, that they will say, okay, where you want? So you say that in Philippines, there are many seaports. It is a big country with hundreds of islands, thousands of islands, not hundreds of islands. Indonesia and Philippines, so people from Philippines, they can tell, there are thousands of islands. It is a country made of thousands of islands, Indonesia and Philippines especially. So they say we have a lot of seaports, but you can send us, example, I don't know if Manila is at the seaport or not. So example, they say, send me to the Manila seaport. So they say, okay. So the company that is selling you the item, they are going to put a price for the CIF to Manila seaport. And what they are responsible for? So they will say that we will send the item in a container or in a crate or whatsoever is the agreed term. And you, the buyer, has to do the collection from the nearest seaports. And as agreed mutually, clearance, custom, everything is the buyer's scope. Seller's scope is what? Just to load it, send it to seaport of Manila. Then comes option of DAP. So DAP and DDP both are delivered at place. It is one step further. And in DAP, what you do? So example, the consignment has reached Manila, but the factory that they are building, the project that they are building is in a different city. Let us say it is in Angeles City in Philippines. So Angeles City is some 300 kilometers away from Manila. So now when you get a DAP, so what is the responsibility of the seller? Seller will say, the manufacturer or supplier will send it to your door. From door to door it is. From door to door, but still the custom clearance, etc. has to be done by the buyer. Buyer has to, because when it is going to Philippines, so custom charges, some duty, some clearance paper, some documentation, this all work has to be done by the buyer company in Angeles City, which is 300 kilometers from Manila. When you say DDP, it is also delivered at place. But what is happening? The manufacturer or supplier will send it to your door or location, but the custom clearance, etc. is seller's responsibility. So what is the difference between DAP and DDP? In DAP, the custom clearance is buyer's responsibility, and DDP, you just pay the money, you feel relaxed, everything is the seller's responsibility. But what is the difference? X work, cheapest, CIF, little more money, DAP, costly, DDP, costliest. So it depends which option you are saying. So when you are comparing the quotations that come to you, in project procurement, always look about the Incoterms. Incoterms means in which term they are giving to you. Are they sending you to your factory, or are they saying it that collect from our factory? So because that is also a charge. So this is something that you have to note it down. Anything somebody wants to ask? Everybody is awake or a bit sleeping on the weekend?
No questions, Rasi. Thank you.
Okay. So this is procurement management when we are saying. So it is typically not just authorized to sign legal agreement, but it is for when it happens, the project manager generally they do not sign the legal agreement. The legal agreements are generally signed by the board of directors, or let us say top management people who are authorized to sign those, or the PMO office, or the project leads, or whatsoever, but not the project manager, because project manager has to follow the legal agreements, and he is not authorized to sign the legal contracts for the total project between two companies. So project procurement management involves agreement that describes the relationship between two parties, a buyer and a seller, and it has to comply with the local, national, international laws regarding the contracts. So those who may be interested, it's not a part of PMP. There is something called FIDIC. Has somebody heard about FIDIC law? FIDIC, FIDIC law. When you do international trade and business, you always do the trade in FIDIC law. FIDIC law. So what is FIDIC? It's a French word actually. So in English, it is the International Federation of Consulting Engineers and International Standard Organization of Construction Technology and Consulting Engineers. A FIDIC suite of contract templates. And so what happens in a FIDIC? All the terms and conditions are written. So I will just show you. It's not a part of your topic training, so don't get confused. But if somebody is interested, you can ask me and I can send you the presentation. It's all right for me. So I will show you what happened. FIDIC 4 slides. I'm not so FIDIC in FIDIC training. So it talks general provision, care and supply of document, joint and several liability, employees financial requirement, who is engineer, who is contractor, what is the performance security, what is the safety security, what is the site data, what is the contractor's equipment mean, who will take care of the staff, labor, safety, inspection, testing. So each and everything, what if you are delaying, what if the equipment or machine or project that you have done is failed. So it's an international system by which the things are written and it is followed worldwide. It will also say, okay, where it is being followed, which place. So all those things are written exactly. And if you are dealing in a company that deals with multi countries, so if you will see in some countries where it is like, English is a language, but like other languages also, like example, if you are in Canada, and suppose, so with the English, you will find most of the documents are also coming in French, because French is a very important language, and in some provinces in Canada, it's very, very popular. So if you see here, like in Saudi Arabia or in Middle East, in most of the places in the Middle East, the contract is also written in Arabic. So it is along with the English, it is the Arabic version is always there. So if you see here, I will just show you a practical example. And I will show you also how to compare as a project manager when you are working as a project manager or a project engineer. Anybody say, when we say PMP or the projects, it's not about the title, project manager or project engineer or something. So let it open. So let the time it open. I am showing you something from your PMP syllabus only that I have shared with you. So if you go in extra, if you go in more extra, so technical evaluation I have put. What is this technical evaluation? When I was working as a project engineer, I was not a project manager. I was working as a project engineer in this particular project. So what was the thing that we have to do? I have to make a comparison. We got 3-4 quotations. Okay. So, okay, let it open. So I'm just showing you this one first. So what happened? There were 3-4 companies and this project was given by, so that So which of the out of the 4 vendors, which one we should supply. So what it is evaluated by me, and that time I was a project engineer in the project and development department for the company. It's very, very old. I think 13 years old, 12 years, 13 years old. So, but just to show you how it is done. So generally, so what I've done, I put the company name, Neuro, Germany, Guttridge, UK, Jiangsu Moyang Group, China, Schenck Process Limited, United Kingdom. So these are the people. Then I put the contact details. These are the people. Why I put, so that becomes, as I said to you before also, when you make any report, you have to make the reports from the layman's point of view that anybody can understand, anybody can contact, to be transparent. So I have written what is the scope of work. So the scope of work will remain same for everybody. So this is the scope of work. What is the scope of supply? So this is what they are supplying. So what we have requested to supply. Then we have put reference. What is the, see, when we are discussing a quotation, always the quotations will change. So, or the proposal will change. So proposal are, like example, if you see this proposal, number A120070-05. 05 means 5 revisions have already happened and dated 8 January 2014. When you say 8 January 2014, so that means this is the latest one. This may have started the communication or the discussion 1 month back, 2 months back. So this is the latest one. And then I put here revision E 23rd December, 17 November. So there are 3 different options. Have they given the drawing? Yes. Have they given a drawing? No. As per Guttridge policy, they will provide engineers and exact drawing once the real deal is signed at no extra cost. Yes. Build sample, did they provide? So what I've given, I'm comparing all the different companies one by one. Build sample. See, when you are doing for anything, it can be technical, it can be a software. So example, in software company, what type of comparison you can do? Are they providing training? Are they providing server support? Are they providing 24/7 support? For how long they are going to do this? What is the guarantee? What is the surety? What happens if this will happen? So you can list all of this. Will they send one of the engineer to be with us for 1 year to look after all the issue? If not, what are the daily charges rate? And so many different things you can put for all the people. So build technical detail, capacity, grain density, ambient temperature. So this is what for my project I put: air humidity, wind speed, noise requirement, total weight, power supply, total length, mobile conveyor, and design of what is the design specification here, what is the design here, what is the design here, what is the build weight. If you see, for everything that is used, fixed conveyor belts, swivel conveyor belts, so everything, if you see, it is very, very detailed, each and everything, electrical requirement, compressor unit, painting, and fixed conveyor belt, diverters, waiting. So everything, if you see, it's a very, very detailed. And then what I have written, supervision in quotation. Are they doing the supervision? They have included. Are they doing? They will charge $20,000 more. Bucket elevator, optional. They are asking this much. So cost of packing and freight. See, cost of packaging sea freight. So this is what they are sending by CIF. By cost of packing sea freight, they are sending by sea freight. So they are say CIF. If they would not, so how can you include? Because see, 225,000 they are saying we will charge for the shipment. Another company is saying we will charge 278,000 for the shipment. So you have to see. And then this is the total price. This is the total price in Euro and USD. But we are dealing in Saudi Arabia. So we have to put the currency of Saudi Arabia. So it was Saudi Arabian Riyal 17 million, Saudi Arabian Riyal 13 million. Now this is one way of doing the comparison. Another way of doing it, which I have done it here, what I have done. So I have given the weighted system. What is the weighted system? So I said for design, we will give 70 points for, so what we have said in design, 70 points, and then we have said capacity, angle inclination, belt speed, everything. We have calculated it like this. So we saw which company is earning. So capacity 3, 3, 2, 2, 2.5. So you have given the design, you have, if something like portable conveyor, best design by Neuro. So I've given him them 9. Moyang, we didn't like that so much. So we say give 4, 8 takes 7, 6. So, you know, it is like bringing why we selected it. So nobody can say that, okay, you selected it because you took the money or there was corruption or anything. So you can say, this is how we have compared. We have given equal weightage for everything and based upon the parameters. So you said percentage score is this much. Then you see electronic this 15%, this one they came. Then technical points. So now we will say payments 3, delivery 3, 2, supervision. Are they providing the supervision? Are they providing the warranty? So total point is scored like this. Final result 69, 52, 29, 37. Total cost SAR this much, SAR this much. Now whatever total cost came, we will divide by the what? Technical weight. So what is the technical weight? 69%, 52%, 29%. So we got the percentage between the, so this is the number coming. Percentage between the offers. So if you say 100%, 103, 108, 107. So you have prioritized 1, 2, 3, 4, which is company. So you will say, then you will do the conclusion. The spelling is all wrong. In 2014, I have made lots of mistake. 13. Conclusion, I have written very wrong spelling. So Neuro scored highest point in technical evaluation due to simple mechanism like this. Selected remarks suppliers to confirm the following points and evaluated by, verified by, approval. So this is one of the way by which we do the different comparisons. So is it clear, like how you compare in real life the different and as I was saying, when the agreements are made between two companies, so the words are written in English and a prevalent language in the region. So example, in most of the places, even though there could be a different language, but people do not, like in Philippines, I believe they only use English, they don't use Tagalog. In India, they only use English and not use Hindi or other languages in most. So if you see here, so this supply and this all the things are there. This is English version, but in the real version, it is on in Arabic also. One side English, one side Arabic. So they will say what is happening, liabilities, software and hardware, the seller responsibility, the buyer responsibility, the payment, assignment of rights, how they can cut the money, what are the payment, what is penalty. So all the details are written here. The reason why it is written here, so it becomes transparent. People understand what has to be done, what is not to be done. So there will be no ambiguity as what is right and what is wrong. So project procurement management process involves agreement that describes the relationship between two parties, a buyer and a seller. The contracting approach and the contract, it should be written in a manner that complies with the local, national, international laws. Anything not in the contract cannot be legally enforced. See what happens. Suppose somebody has told you that no problem. When you are building this construction, you ask, can you do the tiles floor? So he says marble floor. So they say, okay, no problem, I will do it. But it is not written in the contract. So what will happen? You cannot blame them. You cannot, because word spoken from mouth doesn't hold like valid in the code. So whatever you are agreeing between two parties, it must be written in the discussion that you are doing. So now we see, when we talk about the plan procurement, it is the process of documenting project procurement decision, specifying the approach and identifying potential seller. Key benefit of this process determine whether to acquire good and service from outside the project, or whether you should buy it, whether you should build it, whether you should do it yourself and everything. So it is a good way of doing it. So key benefit of this process is determine whether to acquire goods and services from outside the project, and if so, what to acquire, as well as how and when to acquire it. Goods and services may be procured from other parts of the performing organization or from external sources. So plan procurement management, what you have to procure, you will look at the project charter. What is the project all about? That then based upon that you will plan what to do and everything. Contains the objective, project description, summary milestone, and pre-approved financial resources. Business document, business case, business benefit plan, project management plan, project document, enterprise environment. Now there are different types of contracts. This is also where you will get 1 or 2 questions. So please pay attention. So what is the types of contract? There is a fixed price contract, firm fixed price contract. What is the firm fixed price contract? Firm fixed price contract, when you say, when price is set, price, when you say So price is set and does not change unless and the scope of the work change. The seller is obligated to complete the work and must fund any cost overrun. Riskiest for contractors. So, you give it on a contract. So example, somebody comes to paint my flat and I ask them how much you will charge. So he says, okay, what is the project all about? So I will say, just paint my wall and everything. And so he says, okay, I will charge you. He says me, okay, I charge you, let us say 2000 dirham. So it is a firm fixed price. So even if he has to spend more or less, that is his responsibility. But he has agreed with me that he will take it, he will do the work project on 2000 dirham. So that is a firm fixed price. It is riskiest for the contractor. Why it is riskiest for the contractor? Because if it is not based upon, then maybe there is some other work that can come up. There is some painting. He may have estimated that I will be painting 50 square meter of wall. And when it comes, it is 80 square meter of wall. So it is riskiest for contractor. Then come fixed price incentive fees, FPIF. What is this? A fixed price arrangement that allows for deviation from performance with financial incentive tied to achieving agreed upon metrics. Within this, a price ceiling is set and all costs above the price ceiling are the responsibility of the seller. There is also a penalty fee included. What happens in this one? Fixed price incentive fee. So what they say, you fix a particular price and then you say above it, this is going to be the charge. So example, those who have rented a car, so you say, okay, this car is on rent. So they will say, okay, what is the charge? So they will say the fixed charge is 250 dirham or 250 Saudi Riyal, and there is 500 kilometer free. But above 500 kilometer, if you will drive the car, you have to pay, let us say 0.5 Riyal or 0.5 dirham per kilometer. So there is a fixed price plus incentive, whatever are the thing that will be paid. Then comes fixed price with economic price adjustment. What is fixed price with economic price adjustment? Typically used when a contract spans a number of years. So example, if you are building a nuclear power plant, generally still, most of the countries, the developing countries, if we say the Middle East, or we say India, or we say Pakistan, or we say Philippines, none of the countries they build their indigenous, or that means the local nuclear power plant. Is still at the moment it is being built by some countries, let us say France, America, and all those places, UK and other places. So the nuclear power plant, it is not only for 1 year. It's a big plant. It takes a lot of time. Let us say it takes 20 years. Suppose you have agreed that the price of, let us say, example, I'm saying $1 billion. But $1 billion after 20 years, it will be some another number. Na? 1 billion will be of no use for the seller. So what happened? There is a discussion that year on year, we will add this inflation charge. That is agreed in the beginning. So it is 1 billion. So the number of years it gets passed, every year the payment price changes. So this is called fixed price with economic price adjustment. So the contract price will adjust. It is not that it is going to be fixed. Typically used when a contract span a number of years, or if the payment are made in different currencies, it contains provisions allowing for predefined final adjustment to the contract price due to the change conditions, such as the inflation changes or the commodity cost increase. This allows a form of protection for buyer and seller from changes outside their control. So this is something which is very, very important. So in our group, we have Mr. Debsu from Calcutta originally. Correct, Mr. Debsu?
Sir, I'm born in Kolkata, raised in Hyderabad.
Okay. So there is a very big building I'm showing you. This is a newspaper agency. This one. This is it's from the British time. Its statement was Calcutta. It is in the center of Calcutta is Dharamtala. So those who have gone or are familiar to Calcutta in India. So this is a very famous newspaper, The Statesman. And this is a building called the Statesman Building, this Statesman Building I read, it was from the British and everything. So the newspaper agency Statesman took it on lease for 99 years or whatsoever year from the British government. And they got it on lease. You know what was the price of lease? 5 rupees per year. 99 years back, 5 rupees per year, it was good. But it was given as a fixed price, 5 Indian rupee per year. What you get in 5 rupees in India now? Nothing. Even a cup of tea costs you 20 rupees, 10 rupees. A local tea, I'm saying, not talking about a big famous hotel or a restaurant. So it costs you 10, 20 rupees at a local street seller. And the building was on 5 Indian rupees till 2008 or 9 or something. And then when the contract finished, they wanted to renew. And because it is now with the government, the West Bengal government, they made a this, we don't want to give you. If you want to give, you have to give to the real rate as of today. If the real rate will be millions of Indian rupees per month or per year, and not 5 rupees per year. So what happened? This was a fixed price. If it would have been fixed price with economic price adjustment, this would have been, they would have paid the real money as of today. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
One very funny side. So you are from Hyderabad, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you know Hyderabad in India, it was ruled by the Nizams. They
Yes,
were the richest person in the world. If you compare their wealth as of today, it is said their wealth will be more than what Musk has today or Bill Gates has today. He had so much wealth that time. He had the biggest diamond as a paperweight. The Nizam had, and he had hundreds and thousands of big cars and everything, and gold and everything. And it was a big princely state. So if you see in Hyderabad, this all the price inflation and everything. So in Hyderabad, I was reading one of the news that the Nizam family, you know, when it was abolished, the prince and everything was abolished. So they said, we will give you money to your family heirs. Whoever are the legal heirs of the Nizam family, they will be given a pension from the government. It was agreed mutually. And as of today, I think the pension that the Nizam family gets is around everybody in the Nizam family, because you know, father has son, the son has children, son and daughter, they have 10 children. So I think they get 500, 600 Indian rupees for multi-billion-dollar property and multi-billion-dollar thing that they had. So they are just paid 500 Indian rupees per year or per month, which is like a because it is not paid with economic price adjustment. So whenever you are dealing for a long-term contract, make sure that you include fixed price with economic price adjustment. You have to see when you are doing. Then cost reimbursable contract. What is a cost reimbursable contract? Cost plus fixed fees. The seller is reimbursed for all allowable costs and receive a fixed fee payment based on percentage of the initial estimate. What happened? If you go to a place and you say, okay, I want to hire a taxi for 1 full day to stay with you. So they say, okay, what is the cost of, they will say example, just for number. So you say it will be $200. The taxi will be with you from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. Okay, very good. What else? You have to pay what? The petrol bills. You have to pay all the tolls bill, correct? It happens in real life. This is cost plus fixed fee. There is a fixed fee plus cost. Whatever is the cost is coming, the seller is reimbursed for all allowable cost and received a fixed fee payment based on the percentage of the initial estimate. Cost plus incentive fees, CPIF. From the last page and this page, you will always expect 2-3 questions. That is a guarantee. Cost plus incentive fees, CPIF. Seller receives a predetermined fee based on attainment of contractual performance goal. Overruns are shared based on a pre-negotiated. So if it has increased a lot, so what you will say that, okay, no, see, we initially thought it will take $200 petrol, but now it has increased. So what I have 150, I pay 50, you pay. So this has to be negotiated from the before that what will be happening. So seller will receive a predetermined fees based on the attainment of contractual performance goal plus overrun, whatever has gone the overcost, they are shared on the pre-negotiated ratio. Cost plus award fee. All legitimate costs are reimbursed, but the majority of the fees earned based on the satisfaction of certain broad subjective performance that are defined and incorporated in the contract. So whatever scope of work has been done or not, whatever activities have been achieved or not. So the determination of the fees is based solely on the subjective determination of seller performance by the buyer and is not subject to appeals. You cannot challenge it to the court. Riskiest for management. Time and material contracts. What is a time and material contract? Comprised of both fixed and cost reimbursable contracts, except when a fixed scope of work cannot be achieved in a time period or when the seller has a profit limitation imposed upon them. So what happened? You hire somebody to come and do the work in your home, and you say, like, you have asked for some repairing work to be in home. So they say, okay. So they will say that, okay, for the number of days we will work, we will charge you, and whatever material you have to, we will come, we will charge you. So this is time and material contracts. Planning the procurement, you have to use the expert judgment, data gathering, market research. Why you need to do market research? You don't know, example, from where to buy, what to buy, who are the main sellers, who are the main suppliers. So you have to take the help of in real life, what happened? You have to do the market research. You have to understand how the things are going up, how the things are increasing and everything. So it becomes very, very important to understand what is happening, who are the main suppliers, where the things are going and other thing. Now, market data analysis, make or buy analysis. A make or buy analysis is used to determine whether work or deliverables can best be accomplished by the project team or should be purchased from outside sources. There are something which you are not skilled at. So you can ask somebody to do it for you. You can see, example, if I do not know something, example, if there is a requirement in our company for IT and I don't know IT in our company, the people are not into IT. So maybe we have to procure it or we have to take the service from another company. So make or buy analysis, whether we should make it or whether we should buy it. Need consideration of organization, current resource allocations and the skills and abilities, the need for specialized expertise, evaluating the risk involved with each make or buy decision. Source selection analysis. It is a good practice to include the evaluation method in the procurement document so bidders know how they will be evaluated. Commonly used selection method includes what is source selection analysis. So especially, when people are quoting, so it is like when you need something, so it is what is the stages that happens in a company. Suppose there is a project requirement. So the engineering team or whichever team, the IT team, they send a request for quotation. Before the request for quotation, they will fill a form and they will say, see, we need 5 laptops of this brand, this type and everything. So they will put. So now, or they will say, we want to do something like this. So that will become a request for information. When the request for information is received from the end users, it is floated in the market in the form of RFQ. What is RFQ? Request for quotation. You ask different companies to give you a quotation based upon the inputs that you have given. I need this, I need that, it should be like this, it should be like that. So based upon the request for quotation details, the companies will submit the different quotations or proposals. When these quotations or proposals will come to you, you will evaluate out of the 3 options, 5 options, 10 options, which is the best as per the scope, as per the price, as per the timeline. There are many different criteria of selection, which I showed you. So you will select out of them. And then if it is awarded, the request for quotation or the purchase request, it will become into a purchase order. When you become a purchase order or a PO, then the money is released to the whatever is the agreement term, payment term. So if there is an advance payment or something, it is released to the seller, and then the seller and supply the items and everything, or do the project and everything. So this is one of the way of doing. Then when how the projects are awarded, especially in the government organization, they select based upon the least cost. So they will say there is a railway line that has to be built 500 kilometers from plant A to point B. So who will do it? So competitor A, B, C, D. So whoever has bidded the lowest amount, they are given the least cost. So you must have seen in corruption, when there is corruption, what they do. So example, they will say, okay, they will get the information from inside. Oh, company B has quoted for 5 million. So they will quote for 4.9 million and they get least cost. But in real thing, there is no corruption. So generally it is done confidentiality. It is opened in the vendors meet or something. And then it is disclosed that see, company A has quoted for this one, company B has quoted for this one, company C has quoted this one. So the final price of the project goes to company C because their price is the least. Why the price is least? Because what is the scope of work? It is written. We want that you should put 20, you should remove the soil. Then you should do the compression. The compression should be of this value. You should lay the pebbles of this quality. You should put the railway line of this particular specification. You should make sure that there are no cracks. So all the specifications are well clearly defined. Based upon that, you put a cost. And because when you sign the agreement, it is said that whatever is in the scope of work, I agree to comply 100% to whatever is written. There's no exception. And once you sign it and you give a price, so you get a project least cost. It is on the least cost. Qualification only. So selections of bidder based on credibility. So sometimes people, they say only those companies can quote us who are, like example, if it's a Microsoft company, they will say who are Microsoft approved vendor, or who are Aramco approved vendor, who are Sabic approved vendor, who are San Miguel approved vendor. So all those things are written. Qualification only. Qualification based highest technical point score. So the highest technical point score I already showed you in the Excel sheet. Technical proposals are first evaluated on the quality of the technical solution offered. Quantity and cost based, generally inadvisable when uncertainty is great within the project. Sole source, non-competitive awarding of a negotiated proposal. What is sole source? Example, you are a company and you need, let us say, coal. Now, in most of the countries, coal is only sold through the government. So it's a sole source. You cannot buy from anybody else. So there are some items that you cannot buy from anybody. Non-competitive awarding of a negotiated proposal, fixed budget, declaration of the available budget, and selection of the highest ranking technical proposal within that cost constraint. Information interchange, meeting with potential bidders. Procurement management plan include how procurement will be coordinated, timetable of key procurement activities, procurement metrics, what are the key points that you will check, pre-qualified seller, legal jurisdiction, all these things. Our procurement management plan can be formal or informal, but can be highly detailed or broadly framed. But a good procurement plan is if it is well detailed. Why if it is well detailed? So everybody who is quoting, they have to comply to what is written in the scope of work. Procurement strategy. What is the procurement strategy? So objective of the procurement strategy is to determine the project delivery method, the type of legally binding agreement, and how the procurement will advance through the procurement phase. Delivery methods are different for professional services versus construction projects. How will you deliver? Contract payment types. How will you pay? Will you pay fixed price contracts, or you will pay by installment, or you will pay 30%, 20%, 50%? Those are the payment types. Procurement phases. The procurement strategy can also include information and procurement phases. So especially in construction, when you are buying flats. So nowadays, some schemes are coming that when the ground floor is being bid, you give 10%. When the first floor is being raised, you give 5%. When this is being done, you give 5%. When the final plastering of the wall building is going done, you give 5%. When the painting is going on, you give 5%. At the time of handover, you give 20%, 10%, like that. So it's the procurement phases are defined. Bid documents. This I already explained. Request for information, request for quotation, request for proposal. Procurement statement of work. The things are written in detail that what is needed from the So Qatar Airlines, we were doing something. So they gave all the thing, what they want in the unit, how it should be, like that. So the things are written. So these type of things are a scope of work, which will explain you what is the project all about, how it should be there. So the better the explanation, procurement statement of work, the better the quotations would be, the better the agreement from the supplier or manufacturer or whoever is doing the project will be. Source selection criteria, how you select the procurement out of the 3 or 4 different options developed by the project manager for use in scoring or rating the seller proposal received. If you see this, I also did the scoring. The source selection criteria may include capability and capacity, product cost and life cycle cost, delivery dates, specific relevant experience, key staff qualification, financial stability of the firm, management experience, suitability of the knowledge transfer program, including training, financial stability of the firm. When we say, no, before this COVID, when we were supplying the machines to the food companies, they would say that we would say that we need 50% advance and we need 30% before delivery and 20% when we deliver. So this was accepted. During the COVID time, many small companies closed because they could not sustain the crisis. Now what happened? So if somebody has given a contract, they have paid like 50%, 30%, that month now that company has closed. So the company's money has already gone. So most of the big companies who have capacity to negotiate, they say that, see, you cannot supply to us in these terms. You have to give 100% after the delivery. Financial stability of the firm, they see. But example, if there is a project that is happening with some companies like Google, Microsoft, big company, nobody is going to ask your financial stability because it is well known in the public. But for medium and small companies, they ask the financial stability of the firm. Make or buy decision is results whether a particular work can be bought or you want to do the thing. Independent cost estimate. Sometimes what happens for large procurements, you as a project manager, you may not be exactly able to calculate how much the project will cost. So you may hire professional estimators who are good in that or who have done previous projects like that. So they can give you a detailed plan as how they have made that estimate. So prospective seller either misunderstood or failed to respond fully to the procurement. So that is why if a professional person, a professional company does the independent cost estimates, this is generally for bigger projects, huge projects. Change request. A decision that involves procuring goods, service, or resource may require change request, project document update, organizational process assets, and everything. So before we start project stakeholder management, is there anything that somebody wants to ask? Is there anything? So if there's nothing, we'll take a 15-minute break.
Sure, sir.
Is back. So everyone is back. We can start.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So project stakeholder management. So what is a stakeholder? As we discussed already, stakeholder is somebody whose interest is at stake. So example, if we are doing this training, there are 3 stakeholders, you, me, and IMC. These are the stakeholders, and everybody has a different thing for them. So example, the institute, their reputation is at stake. The trainer's teaching is at stake. The participants, their learning is at stake. So they are all a part of this project, of this particular training project. So when we talk about the project stakeholder management, it includes the process required to identify the people, group, organization that could impact or to be impacted by the project. First, identify the stakeholder. Who are the stakeholders? Plan the stakeholder management. What is all this thing? in real life, what happens, like if you know in a company, when you are either from the customer side or the buyer side, whichever side, when you are doing a particular project, so you need to understand who are the key people, who are the people who just need to be informed, who are the people who you need to satisfy. So what happens when you understand that particular thing? So you need to like keep some people informed. So there is something called RACI chart. You know RACI chart? Have you heard about RACI chart?
Yes, RACI chart.
Yeah.
Responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed.
Yeah. So when we say RACI, so that is means somebody will be responsible, some will be like oh, it's not coming. So what is in RACI chart? What happens? So if there are 10 stakeholders, so you know some stakeholder you just need to keep them informed. Some people are responsible for the project. Some people are accountable for the project. So some people need to be just consulted. So they need to be just consulted. For that one, you need what is the RACI matrix? Responsible. Who is responsible for getting the work done? Who is accountable? Who oversees the project or the task, and who needs to be informed. So example, if I'm sending an email to a customer, so I may not be sending him, I may not be like updating him or her on a day-to-day basis. But if I'm sending an email, for some emails, I need to keep my managing director or whoever is my reporting boss in CC of the email. The reason I'm putting him in CC is not that he is going to do anything. It just need to be informed. So you have to identify the stakeholder. Sometimes what happens is some people are informed, but you want to take this action. So example, there is a project that we have done and the customer is not paying. So now as a project manager, if I have already spoken to many times and they're not paying or there's something pending, so maybe I will escalate it to the next senior management, that is my boss. Why I'm escalating it to the next senior management? So now that top management of my company can negotiate and discuss with that company so that it can be taken care. So sometimes an informed need to be responsible. So you have to understand who is what type of a stakeholder. So identify the stakeholder, plan the stakeholder management, manage the stakeholder engagement, control the stakeholder. So how we plan? So you know that, okay, these people will be kept in CC of the email. These people need to be mandatory. They need to come in the project meetings. These people, after the project meeting has informed, whatever the minutes of meeting or the notes of the meeting or whatever has been agreed in the meeting, those documents are shared with the group. So that is a plan. That is how you will plan the stakeholder management. So manage the stakeholder engagement, control stakeholder engagement. So these all are what, like how to engage the stakeholder if it is needed. Some people, stakeholders are those who are impacted by or can impact the project in a positive or negative way. Ability of the project team to correctly identify and engage all stakeholders is a key to project success. Process of stakeholder identification and engagement should be commenced as soon as possible after the project has been approved, the project manager has been assigned, and the team begins to form. Process of identifying and engaging a stakeholder for the benefit of the project is iterative. Why? Because sometimes what happens, some stakeholders may change, some new stakeholder may come. So that is why it's an iterative, repeated process, which you need to continue from the beginning till the end. Activities of identification, prioritization, and engagement should be reviewed and updated accordingly. So when we plan stakeholder management, it is the process of developing approach to involve project stakeholder based on the need, expectation, interest, and potential impact on the project. The key benefit of this process is provides an actionable plan to interact effectively with the stakeholders. So the inputs, the agreement, whatever is the agreement between contractors, suppliers, procurement or contracting groups, they've become handy. Project documents, management plan, expert judgment, data gathering, data analysis, decision making, and all the thing. So other tools and technique, data representation, mind mapping, it is used to visually organize information about a stakeholder and their relationship to each other and organization. Stakeholder engagement assessment matrix, comparison between the current engagement level of the stakeholder and the desired engagement level. So this one we will see in the next page. And the engagement level of a stakeholder can be classified as follows: unaware of the project at potential impacts, Some people they may be a stakeholder, but they are unaware of the project and potential impact. Some people are resistant, aware of the project and potential impact, but resistant to any change. Usually this stakeholder will be unsupportive. Neutral, aware of the project, but neither supportive nor unsupportive. Supportive, aware of the project and potential impact and supportive of the work and its outcome. Leading, aware of the project and potential impact and actively engaged. What happened? See, if there are people there are three stakeholders, 1, 2, 3, and somebody is unaware, and you want that unaware to become supportive. So maybe you will send an email, dear sir, dear ma'am, we had the recent meeting for this, and for point number 2 and 3, it would be great if you can please give a direction as what should I do, what we should do, something like that. So you are targeting the person in a positive way, and from a current stage where he is or she is like not taking interest in the project, they are unaware of the project, you want to make them interested about the project or supportive of the project, so you follow different strategies. In stakeholder 2, he is neutral, you want him to become supportive. Stakeholder T is 3, is there, he or she is in the supportive, you want to continue him to be the supportive. Some people, so you have to follow this thing. So generally what happens, if there are something that is pending and it needs a senior management intervention, so you call the meeting and you invite that particular person also who is the senior management or senior this, that dear sir, these 2 things will be need to be discussed with you, because I have tried to discuss a couple of times with the supplier and they are not listening to it. So if senior management like you will be attending, it will be a great help for us, so they can understand that this is serious issue. So it would be great if you can particularly come on this particular meeting at this time and everything. So he or they become aware that this is very, very important. So meetings are used to discuss and analyze the input of the stakeholder engagement planning process and develop a sound stakeholder engagement plan. A stakeholder engagement plan, it includes the strategies and action developed in the process designed to promote productive involvement of the stakeholder. Content of the plan may include current and desired engagement level, interrelationship that may exist among stakeholders, information to be distributed to stakeholders. Develop project management plan is the process of defining, preparing, and coordinating all plan components and consolidating them into an integrated project management plan. The key benefit are production of a comprehensive document that defines the basis of all project work and how the work will be performed. PMP defines how the project is executed, monitored, and controlled and closed. PMP may either be, when we say PMP, it's project management plan here. It may be either summary level or detailed, content varying depending on the application area, complexity of the project. Each component plan is described to the extent required by the specific project. Project management plan should be baseline. Baseline means base should be made for the cost, scope, time, so that during the project execution, performance can be compared and measured. If the project is going in a right way or wrong way, or if it is delaying, PMP may be updated many times before it gets baseline, after which changes has to go through perform integrated change control process. What is perform integrated change control? So in the general projects that we are doing, nobody wants the scope to change. So if the scope of changes change requested is very high, big, then it goes to the project management office, or in some companies perform integrated change control process, PCC and other thing. So they check and they review whether this change request is accepted and what will be the outcome on the timeline, the cost and everything. And then it is further discussed with both the parties. This is the project management plan that is progressively elaborated by controlled and approved updates extending through the project closure. Project that exists in the context of a program or portfolio should develop a project management plan that is consistent with the program or portfolio management plan. Example, cost threshold or CCB board review. Develop project management plan. Inputs project charter. It is used as a starting point, high level information. Output from other process are integrated to create the project management plan, subsidiary plans and baseline that are the output from the planning process, changes to the documents and other thing. Brainstorming, checklist, focus group, interviews and those things. Conflict management. What is conflict management is very, very important nowadays. Used to bring diverse stakeholders into an alignment on all aspects of the project management plan. Facilitator ensures effective participation, mutual understanding, full buy-in of all the meeting management. Ensure that the numerous meetings that are necessary to develop, unify, and agree on the project management plan are well run. Meetings. Team discuss the project approach, determine how work will be executed, and establish the way the project will be monitored and controlled. When the project is start, a kickoff meeting or the project start meeting happens, usually associated with the end of the planning and the start of the execution. Purpose is to communicate the objective of the project, gain the commitment of the team for the projects, and explain the rules and responsibilities of each stakeholder. Kickoff may occur at different point in time. For a small project, kickoff occurs shortly after initiation in the planning process group because of the team is involved in planning. In large projects, the kickoff meeting takes place with process in the executing process group. Multi-phase projects will typically include a kickoff meeting at the beginning of each phase. So what is a multi-phase project? So you do the projects in 2-3 phases. So in one phase you are doing, example, the buildings. In the second phase you are building the swimming pools. In the third phase you are building the school, or in the same premises, year by year or term by term you are developing the project. So multi-phase projects. Project management plan describes how the project will be executed, monitored, and controlled. It integrates the consolidates of subsidiary management plan. Now comes the scope management plan. What is a scope management plan? So project plan management includes subsidiary management plan. What are those? The scope management. So where you discuss the scope and make sure that the scope is followed. Requirement management plan, schedule management plan, cost management plan, quality management plan, resource management plan, communications, risk register, risk management plan, procurement management, stakeholder engagement plan, and so on. What we say about the baseline? Baseline means what makes the level or the base. Scope baseline. When you say the scope baseline, it is the approved version of a scope statement with work break. It is a approved version of a scope statement work breakdown structure and its associated WBS dictionary. So when you break a big task into a smaller task, it is a work breakdown structure. Schedule baseline. So you say that, okay, by 15th of May, what all will happen? By 15th of June, what all will happen? So you have put some timeline, schedule baseline. So the people can check if by this area, this thing has happened or not. Cost baseline, the approved version of the time phase project budget that is used as a basis for comparison to the actual results. Additional components. These components developed as a part of the process will be dependent on the project, often include change management plan, configuration management plan, performance measurement baseline, project life cycle, the development approach, management reviews, and so on. So these are the project management plan. These are the project documents. So executing the project, we come to the phase 4, executing the project. Executing means when the work is being really done. Executing process group, process performed to complete the work defined in the project management plan to satisfy the project requirement. So direct and manage project work means what? It is the process of leading and performing the work defined in the project management plan and implementing approved changes to achieve the project objectives. Key benefit of this project is processes provides overall management of the project work and deliverables, thus improving the probability of the project success. Implementation of approved changes, corrective action, preventive action, or defect repair. What is corrective action? If something you have done is wrong, you need to maybe redo it. So that will be called a corrective action. Preventive action. What is a preventive action? You do a couple of things. So example, you have built a building and you know that it can, the people who are coming there, they can get hurt from cars coming from high speed. So you put like a small barrier so only people can walk from that area. So that is like preventive work that you are doing. So action under defect repair, if you have done something and it is not complying to the standard or the drawing or the specification set by the buyer, you have to do it or repair it. So defect repair. During project execution, the work performed data is collected and communicated to the applicable controlling process for analysis. Project management plan, any So direct and manage project work. Project management plan, any component of the project management plan may be an input to this process. Project documents, approve change request, undergo perform integrated change control process, corrective, it can be corrective action, another thing we saw. PMIS, project management information system. This, as you know, these are the software like MS Project, Primavera that are used. It provides access to the information technology software tools such as scheduling, work authorization system, configuration management, information collection, and other thing. Meeting. The team types of meeting include but are not limited to kickoff, technical, sprint, iteration, scrum daily, stand-up, steering group, problem-solving group, progress update, retrospective meeting. So what are these meetings? When you say scrum, they are generally used in the agile, which you will see. Steering group, those who are managing the project, 5 people, 6 people, 10 people, the committee, and problem solving, progress update, and retrospective meeting. What is retrospective meeting? What went right, what went wrong? So those all comes as a retrospective meeting. Deliverables. What is the deliverable? Deliverables are the output or the throughput. Any unique and verifiable product result or capability to perform a service that is required to be produced to complete a process, phase, or project. Outcomes of the project can include components of the project management plan. Change control should be applied once the first version of deliverables has been completed. The control of the multiple versions or addition of a deliverable, example, document, software, and building block is supported by configuration management tools and procedures. Work performance data. What is work performance data? Are the raw observation and measurement identified during activities being performed to carry out the project work. Data is gathered through work execution and passed to the controlling process. Example, how much work is completed, key performance indicator, actual start date, finish date, deliverable status. I have already showed you. If you go here in your folder in extra, and then there's a feed mill progress report. It is the daily report. It can be customized as per your factory, as per your project, software industry, or whichever industry. So you say contract number, project duration, date, Famson store, feed mill project, the main tower, the catwalk and trusses, soy warehouse. So you can see how much percentage has got complete, what is the reason for delay, how many people were there at the site, and what type of machines are there. Is there some testing going on, commissioning going on? What are the issues? So these type of thing are the work performance data, number of defect, actual cost involved, and everything. Issue log are unexpected outcome, problem, gap, inconsistencies, or conflict which project manager face. What is issue log? So there are 10 items that need attention. Item 1, example, you said there is no fire extinguisher sign, need to put. So these are is an issue log. Then you say the contractor has not started this work, it is a civil work, or if it is an issue log. This thing is pending for this particular information. This is an issue log. So whatever are the issues that are pending or that have got completed, it must be updated in the issue log. Issues are unexpected outcome or problem, gap, inconsistencies, or conflict which project manager faces and that require some actions so that do not impact the project performance. Issue log is a project document where all the issues are recorded and tracked, include element like issue type, who raised the issue, description, priority, who is assigned to the issue, target resolution date, status, final status, solution, and so on. Issue log will help the project manager effectively track and manage issues, ensuring they are investigated and resolved. Issue log is created for the first time as an output of the process. Issue log is updated as a result of the monitoring and controlling activities through the project's lifecycle. Change request. When some change request come, it is changing the scope, changing the other thing. Say any project stakeholder may request a change that can be initiated. Okay. Any project stakeholder may request a change, can be initiated from inside or outside the project, and can be optional or legally contractual mandated. It is formal proposal to modify any document, deliverables or baseline. So all of a sudden there is something there. You think that this is not the correct way to do this. We can do it. The project in that particular way, in this particular style, or you want some new things to be added. So those all will be a part of change request. So corrective action and intentional activity that realigns the performance of the project work with the project management plan. Preventive action and intentional activity that ensures the future performance of the project work is aligned. Defect repair and intentional activity to modify a conforming product to the product chain. Defect repair, an intentional activity to modify a non-conforming product or product component. Updates, generally in the software industries, updates are released, changes to formally control project document plan to reflect modified or additional ideas or contents. Project management plan updates, any component of the project management plan may require a change request as a result of this process, which has to go through the organizational change process. Project document update, it may be updated as a result of the carrying out this process, include activity list, assumption log, lesson learned register, requirement documentation, risk register, stakeholder register, organizational process assets. Manage project knowledge. Manage project knowledge is the process of using existing knowledge and creating new knowledge to achieve the project's objective and contribute to the organizational learning. What is managed project knowledge? So example, if you have done a particular project, you come to know, okay, from this supplier we should not do. From this supplier we should do. I told you that we did a project in Saudi Arabia, that the project was Yanbo Silos project. I think I already showed you. In this project, when we did this particular project, what has happened that this was already, if you see this, these are called silos where the grains are kept. And this is huge, 15,000 tons each. It was a big project. So what went wrong? This fact, if you see this project, I have put already it in your this one. This is also 2014. That was 9 years back. So if you see, this is the Yanbo's commercial port and in the seaport, and we have built this a factory. This is the factory that we have built in the seaport area, in the commercial seaport. Now, what has gone wrong? That when we ordered this thing, if you see, the sheets that we have used, it is galvanized to 125 mm. There is something like in galvanization, it means what? Coating of zinc layer on these sheets. So what happened? It becomes, protects you from corrosion. But we have coated it up to 125. Now, when we did this project, it was fine. But after a couple of months, because it is at the sea, so the surface or the sheets have started getting corroded. So we asked the company that why it is getting corroded and everything. They said it is already galvanized, it should not. Then we got it checked from some experts, and then we came to know that, see, what has happened when we were doing this particular project, we have got it 125 mm galvanized for this particular thing. Now they said that if you want it, it should be minimum of 250 and above galvanization. I'm not remembering the unit, 250 or more galvanization. So that because it's a coastal area, it's very acidic, very salty. So this 125 is for any outdoor, but not if something is near the sea. So that is something that we learned after we have done this particular project. So now we can't do anything, but we just managed to get it painted from again and everything. So it at least managed a bit, but not so much. But this information, when the company is doing a particular project again, it needs to be kept in their database. So whenever next time something they are building near the seaport or something, they have to keep it in consideration, the corrosive nature of the air. So this is like you are managing the project knowledge. So managed project knowledge is the process of using existing knowledge and creating new knowledge to achieve the project's objective and contribute to the organizational learning. The key benefit of this process are prior organizational knowledge is leveraged to produce or improve the project outcomes, and knowledge created by the project is available to support organizational operations and future projects or phases. What is knowledge? When we are saying knowledge is commonly of two types: explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. What is explicit knowledge? Easy to communicate, store, and distribute, and is the knowledge found in the book, in the web, and other visual and oral means. It lacks content and is open to different interpretation. So whatever you see in the internet, books, these all are the thing that is explicit knowledge. What is the tacit knowledge? It is a highly personal, hard to formalize, and difficult to communicate to others. It may be also impossible to capture, difficult to express, such as beliefs, insights, experience, and know-how. So it is, like more based upon your personal experience or based upon your personal thinking. So that is you cannot explain it as why and how and everything, but you believe in it, such as beliefs, belief for some God, belief for some religion, belief for something. So these are all tacit. You can't change those things. Very difficult to do. So when we say explicit, it is easy to communicate, store, and distribute, and is knowledge found in the books, on the web, and other visual and oral means. And tacit is highly experienced, hard to formalize, and difficult to communicate to others. It may also be impossible to capture and difficult to express, such as beliefs, insight, experience, and know-how. It writes in the mind of individual experts or in social group and situation that is normally shared through conversation and interaction between people. Knowledge management is concerned with managing both tacit and explicit knowledge for two purposes: reusing existing knowledge and creating new knowledge. So these are the two purposes: reusing the existing knowledge and creating new knowledge. When we talk about knowledge management, it is about making sure the skills, experience, and expertise of the project team and other stakeholders are used before, during, and after the project. KM, knowledge management, creates an atmosphere of trust between the people. Manage project management inputs, project management plan, project document, what is the lessons learned registered, project team assignment, resource breakdown structure, stakeholder register, deliverables. Deliverable is what? What are the output? What are the throughput? A deliverable is any unique and verifiable product, result, or capability to perform a service that is required to be produced to complete a process, phase, or project. Expert judgment, expertise from individuals or groups with a specialized knowledge or training in topic like knowledge management, information management, organizational learning, knowledge and information management tools, and relevant information from other projects are used. Knowledge management. What is knowledge management? Knowledge management tools and technique connect people so that they can create together to create a new knowledge, share tacit experience, and integrate the knowledge of diverse team members. All of these tools and techniques can be applied face-to-face or virtually or both. Face-to-face interaction is generally most efficient way to build a trusting relationship that are needed to manage knowledge. Once relationship is established, virtual interaction can be used to maintain the relationship. What are the tools and techniques? Tools and techniques depend on the nature of the project, but it can include networking, communication, communities of practice, meetings, work shadowing, discussion forums such as the focus group, knowledge sharing events, workshop, storytelling, creativity, and ideas management techniques, knowledge fairs, training, etc. Information management through the PMIS, the software, Primavera, MS Project, etc. Interpersonal and team skills. And interpersonal and team skills are very much important for project manager. An active listener, he should be active in listening, facilitating other people's leadership, networking, political awareness. It helps the project manager to plan communication based on the project environment as well as organization's political environment. Lessons learned register, it includes the category and description of the situation, what happened, how you helped. It includes the impact, recommendation, and proposed action plan, record challenges, problem, realized risk and opportunities, persons or team. Knowledge can be documented using videos or pictures, audios, or other information that ensures the efficiency of the lessons captured. At the end of the project or phase, the information is transferred to an organizational project assets called a lesson learned repository. So whatever has been the lesson learned from the project is mentioned there. Project management plan updates. Any change to the project management plan goes through the organization's change control process via a change request. All the components of the project document management may be updated as a result of the process. Operational side or process asset update. All process creates new knowledge. Some of this knowledge is codified, embedded in a deliverables or embedded in improvement to process and ensures as a result of the managed project knowledge process. Any organizational process asset can be updated as a result of organization process update. NOCUS managed quality. What is managed quality? It is the process of translating the quality management plan into executable quality activities that incorporate the organization's quality policies into the projects. The key benefit of this process are increases the probability of the meeting the qualified objective as well as identified and ineffective progress and cause of poor quality. So managed quality uses the data and results from the control quality process to reflect the overall status, quality status of the project to the stakeholder. For managing the quality, the inputs required are quality management plan, project documents, like lesson learned, registered, etc. So in project documents, lessons learned, registered, quality control documents, quality metrics, risk reports are mentioned. What is data gathering? You gather the information from the company or the net for a particular thing. Checklist is a structured tool, usually a component specific, likely to verify that a set of required step has been performed, or if a check, or to check if a list of requirement that has been satisfied. Data analysis, alternative analysis is used to evaluate identified options in order to select the different quality options. Document analysis, the analysis of different documents produced as a part of the output to project control process, such as quality report, test report, performance. Process analysis identifies opportunities for process improvement. Root cause analysis, analytical technique that determines the basic cause of the variation, risk, defects, etc. Decision making, it can be multiple criteria. Decision analysis is used to evaluate several criteria when discussing alternatives that impact project or product quality. Data representation, you can use affinity diagram, cause and effect diagram, flow charts, histogram, max diagram, scatter diagram. I think I've given you the root cause analysis, but if I have not given you, I'm just sharing with the presentation again. I've shared that. So affinity diagram organize potential cause of defect into group, showing areas that could be focused the most. Cause and effect known as fishbone diagram, YY diagram, Ishikawa diagram. What are these for? They break down the cause of the problem into different. So example, I said to you, there was an accident. So if you go, why this accident happened, then you categorize into different machine problem, manpower problem. So you say man, then you put why, what is the problem with the man, so you investigate, you find the reason. What is the problem with the machine, you investigate and get the reasons. Flowchart shows a series of steps that lead to a defect. Histogram shows a graphical representation of the numerical data. Matrix diagram seeks to show the strength of the relationship among factors. The scatter diagram is a graph that shows the relationship between two variables. Audit, what is audit? Audit is checking, is a structured independent process used to determine if project activities comply with organizational and project policies, process and procedures. Quality audits may be scheduled or random and may be conducted by internal or external auditors. Quality audits can confirm the implementation of approved change requests, including updates, corrective action, defect repairs, and preventive action. Design for X. What is design for X? It is a set of technical guidelines that may be applied during the design of a product for the optimization of a specific aspect of the design. When you are designing a machine, designing a, it can be used. The X in the DFX can be different aspect of the product development, such as reliability, deployment, assembly, manufacturing, cost, service, usability, safety, quality. It may result in cost reduction, quality improvement, better performance, and customer satisfaction. Problem solving. Problem solving entails finding solutions for the issues or challenging. It can include gathering additional information, critical thinking, creative, quantitative, and logical approaches, effective and systematic problem, quality improvement method. It can be plan, do, check, act, and Six Sigma are two most common tools employed to do this. What is plan, do, check, and act? So suppose one activity you want to do, so you plan that activity, then do it. Then check if it is fulfilling the expected outcomes or not. Otherwise, if needed, you have to repeat. So plan, do, check, act is something which is followed throughout the project also. And Six Sigma are also used. Some of the tools of Six Sigma are used to make sure that the project is successful. Quality reports. Quality reports are generally can be graphical, numerical, qualitative. The information provided can be used by other process and department to take corrective actions in order to achieve the project quality expectation. Test and evaluation documents are created based on the industry needs and the organization template. They are input to the quality control process. Example, dedicated checklist and detailed quality traceability metrics. Change request, project management plan update, quality management plan, scope baseline, schedule baseline, cost baseline. These are agreed upon approach to managing quality may need to be modified during the actual result. Project document update, issue log, lessons learned, risk registered. Acquire resources. What is acquiring resources? When we talk about the resources, it is the process of obtaining team member, facilities, equipment, materials, supplies, and other resources necessary to complete the project work. The key benefit of this process is it outlines and guides the selection of resources and assigns them to their respective activities. So project management plan, resource management plan provides guidance on how to acquire a resource for the project. Procurement management plan guides on resources that will be acquired from outside the project. Cost baseline provides the overall budget of the project activities. Project document, project schedule shows the activities and the planned start and end date to help determine when the resource need to be availed and acquired. So when you say that example from 15th of May to 20th of May, you need a crane at the site. So as per the project schedule, the crane will be supplied. So this is acquire resources. Resource calendar documents the time period that each resource needed for the project is available for the project. Resource requirement identifies which resource needs to be acquired. The stakeholder register may reveal stakeholder need or expectations for specific resources to be used on the project. Enterprise environment factors, organizational process assets, and so on. Decision making, multi-criteria decision analysis. Selection criteria often used to select physical project resource or the project term. Further criteria are developed, are used to rate or score potential resource. Some example of selection criteria can include availability, cost, ability, experience, knowledge, skill, attitude, and international factors. Interpersonal and team skills is an important tool. Negotiation, what is negotiation? The project management team may need to negotiate staff assignment. So you negotiate means you discuss and between two parties and come to a common term, consensus. That is negotiation. Functional managers ensure that the project receives the best resource possible in the required time frame and using their until their responsibilities are complete. Other project management plan within the performing organization appropriately assign or share scarce or specialized resources. Extended or external organization supplier provides appropriate scarce, specialized, qualified, certified or other resources. Pre-assignment, when physical or team resources for a project are determined in advance, they are considered pre-assignment. The situation can occur if the project is the result of the specific resource being extensive as a part of the competitive proposal. Some staff assignment are predefined within the project charter. Virtual team, virtual tools have been made possible by the advance in communication. So, people can do the training, people can do work in virtual team through Zoom, through Microsoft Team and other softwares. So the use of virtual teams create new possibilities when acquiring project team members. Those include people who live in different geographical areas, employees who work from home or with varying shift patterns, people with disabilities or mobility limitations. There are also a disadvantage include difficulties in sharing knowledge and experience between team members, cost of appropriate technology, etc. Project management plan updates, change request, resource management plan may be updated to reflect actual experience in acquiring resources. Cost baseline may change as a result of the acquisition resources for the project. Project documents update, lessons learned register is updated with information on challenges encountered and how they have been avoided, as well as approaches that work well for acquiring the resources. Project schedule change may result from the availability required resources, resource breakdown structure, when which resource is available, and so on. Resource requirement, what type of resources you need. Risk register, new risk identified during this process are recorded in the risk register. The stakeholder register is updated with new stakeholder, and this information about existing holder that has been gained is a result of this process. Environmental, enterprise environment factor update, resource availability within the organization and amount of organizational consumable resources, organizational process asset update. These are the common things. Develop team. Now, what is develop team? It is the process of improving competencies, team members interaction, and the overall team environment to enhance project performance. The key benefit of developing a team is results in improved teamwork, enhanced interpersonal skills and competencies, motivated employees, reduced attrition, and improved overall project performance. What is attrition? Reduced attrition. Attrition is how many people leave your organization and go. So reduced attrition means if there is a developed team, the team are developed in the right way, the number of people leaving the organizations and will be less. Otherwise, more and more people will leave. The key benefit of this process results in improved teamwork, enhanced interpersonal skills and competencies, motivated employees, reduced attrition, and improved overall project performance. So project management plan provides guidance on providing project team members rewards, feedback, additional training, disciplinary action as a result of team performance assessment, and other forms of project team management. The resource management plan may include also the team performance assessment criteria, project documents, lessons learned registered. Lessons learned earlier in the project with regard to developing the team can be applied to later phases in the project to improve team performance. Project schedule defines how and when to provide training to the project team and develop the competencies required at different phases. Project team assignment, identify the team and member roles and responsibilities. Resource calendar identifies when the project team members can participate in a team development activities based on the availability during the entire project. Team charter is where the team operating guidelines are documented. So develop team is the process of improving competencies, team member interaction, and overall team environment to enhance project performance. The key benefit is results in improved teamwork, enhanced interpersonal skills and competencies. So this one we did. Project document, lessons learned, enterprise environment factor and everything. Co-location, what it is also called, sometimes also called as a tight matrix. This involves placing many or all the most active project team members in the same physical location to enhance their mobility to perform. Co-location can be temporary, such as strategically important times during the project, or for the duration of the entire project. Co-location strategies can include team meeting room, often called a war room, common places to post schedules, which enhances communication and a sense of community. Virtual teams can bring benefits such as the use of more skilled resources, reduced cost, less travel and relocation expenses, and the proximity of the team members to suppliers, customer or other key stakeholders. Virtual team can use technology to create an online team environment where team can store files, use conversations, thread to discuss issues, and keep a team calendar. Rewards and recognition. Original plans for rewarding people are developed during the plan resource management process. A reward given is effective only it satisfies the need valued by the individual. Award decisions are made by formally, informally during managing the project process. It is advisable to give recognition during the life cycle of the project. Cultural difference should be considered when determining recognition and rewards. People are motivated if they feel they are valued in the organization, and this value is demonstrated by the reward given to them. Most project team members are motivated by an opportunity to grow, accomplish, and apply their professional skills and meet new challenge. Training. It includes all activities designed to enhance the competencies of the project team members. Training can be formal or informal. Example of training methods include classroom, online, computer-based, on-the-job training, other project team members, mentoring, coaching. Mentoring is what? Somebody guiding. Training cost could be included in the project budget or supported by the performing organization. Individual and team assessment. These tools give PM the project and project team insight into the areas of strength and weakness. These tools help PM assess team members' preference, aspirations, how they process and organize information, how they make decisions, how they interact with people. Example of such tools like the attitudinal survey, you do the survey, what type of people and everything, structured interview, ability test, focus group, etc. When used correctly, these tools can facilitate a more productive team. Example, project orientation meeting, team building meeting, team development meeting, and so on. Team performance assessment. Project team comes with a formal or informal assessment of the project's team effectiveness. The evaluation of a team effectiveness may include indicators such as improvement in skills, competencies, reduced staff turnover rate, and increased team cohesiveness. Project management plan updates, resource management plan may get updated. Lessons learned register, project schedule, project team assignment, project calendar, team charter may be updated as the project progresses. Now, for developing a team, these are some of the philosophical things that is being developed by some great scholars. So what is the Tuckman ladder model? Bruce Tuckman created a model to define the 5 stages of the team development. What are the 5 stages? The first stage is the forming. So example, if you have traveled in a local, by a local train, in a public, through a public transport, in some of the developing countries, you will find generally the train is fully packed. And when you go, you don't find any space to stand or sit. No, what happens? The people, when you go, they will be reluctant to accept you. They will be reluctant to give you space. But after, as soon as some time passes or some stops passes, you will see that people start getting normal and they start discussing, and then they become friends. They start sharing, eating, and then telling stories, and later on, everybody goes back to their home. So the same way in the project, they are telling about the 5 stages of the team development. What is the first is the forming. This phase is where the team member meet and learn about the project and their formal roles and responsibilities. Team members tend to be independent and not as open in this phase. Storming. During this phase, the team begins to address the project work, technical decision, and the project management plan. If team members are not collaborative or open to differing ideas and perspective, the environment can become counterproductive. Norming phase. In this phase, the team members begin to work together and all their work habits and behaviors to support the team. The team members learn how to trust each other.
Sir, can
Yeah.
I repeat 1 second? This
Yeah,
one.
brother.
Can
Yeah,
you
so
repeat this?
what happens in the normal life? See, example, if you travel somewhere, you must have seen that when you enter into a, let us say, a train, and if it's not a reserved train, it's like an unreserved train or a public bus, generally people do not give space to each other in a normal way. What happens then when you move slowly? People start some discussion and everything. So that is in a storming phase. Then they start becoming normal. Then they start performing. They start talking, eating, and then finally the stop comes in the project when we are discussing. So when suppose 10 member from another project side came, 5 member from other side came, 2 member came from other area. So it's a new team, new people. So what happened generally? In the beginning, when you will start the project, you will see that people are not like open. They are not like talking to each other. They are all reserved in themselves and everything. So it is a forming stage. This is a natural stage. So what you should do, you should make sure that people mingle with each other. You arrange some get together or something so the people talk to each other. Then the second phase comes is the storming. The team begins to address the project work, technical decision. If team members are not collaborative or open to differing ideas and perspectives, the environment can become counterproductive. So in storming, people discuss, talk, and everything. Then after that comes not norming. In this phase, team members begin to work together. They start begin to adjust together and adjust their behavior, habit, working style to support each other team. The team member learn to trust each other. But after this, when the forming, storming, and norming has happened, the fourth stage is the performing, where the team members will do their best activity in that thing. Teams that reach the performing stage functions as well as organized in it, they are interdependent and work through issues smoothly and effectively. Now the final, when all the project has got completed, you have called 10 technicians, 5 plumbers and everything. There's no work. So what you will do? You will thank them and you will say to go work and on the other side or something. So that is called adjourning. In this phase, the team completes the work and moves on from project. This typically occurs when staff is released from the project as deliverables are completed as the part of the closed project or phase group. So in the adjourning, the final end, the project people are assigned to other areas, different projects and everything. So this is the 5 stages of team formation: norming, forming, storming, performing, and adjourning. So develop teams, there are motivational theories. One of them is called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What he says that this is the basic minimum physiological need. We need to make sure of the air, water, food, housing, clothing. So the first is the physiological stage, where the people need the basic necessity: air, water, food, housing, clothing. But in real life, what happens if you are developing a team? You have to understand that people are different people. They have their own thinking level and everything. So what does this theory says? That the basic minimum requirement is the physiological need. You need to make sure that air, water, food, housing, clothing are provided to the staffs working under you. Then comes safety or security. Job and financial security is the so safety. After the physiological needs are the basic minimum, we say roti, kapda or makan, that is bread, butter is earned. Then you start thinking about sales or benefits. So you say, okay, this is what is achieved and everything. Then comes love and security. People want to talk to each other because of love. and security and belonging. Then comes esteem. People start at the appreciation and support. And the last is self-actualization. What is self-actualization? You start thinking, what is the purpose of my life? How can we do this? How can we do that? That is called self-actualization. What I will do, live after I am gone, and other thing. That is called self actualization. So Maslow's hierarchy needs created a pyramid to show how people are motivated and said one cannot ascend to the next level until the level below are fulfilled. Bloom's expectancy theory, it's a different theory. A simple theory is stating that people will tend to be motivated if two conditions are satisfied. What are the two conditions? That if they believe their efforts will lead to successful result, they will be rewarded or their contribution of the team success. If their expectations are not met, they will be demotivated. So they say about the expectancy theory in the projects. Then comes Herzberg's theory of motivation. His theory is based on hygiene factors and motivator. When he say hygiene factor, it means a lot of things like working conditions, salary, personal life, relationship at work, security, etc. Poor hygiene factors may destroy motivation, but improving them is not likely to increase motivation. Motivators include recognitions, work content, responsibility, and growth. What is the difference between Herzberg's theory of motivation versus motivators and factors? So in the first one, salary, wages, and other benefits are there. And here sense of personal achievement is there. Benefits versus goods. Good interpersonal relationship skills, no relationship, job security, working condition, work-life balance, hygiene factors. Sense of personal achievement, status, recognition, challenging, stability, work, responsibility, opportunities for the advancement, preparation. This is motivator factors. So when we say Herzberg theory of motivation, it can be general purpose of doing the job, or when in place these factors result in how to do and when to do, like that. McGregor's XY theory, he believed that all workers fit into two groups, 1 and 2. What is theory X and theory Y? Theory X manager believe, accept their theory, believe that people need to be watched every time. So they keep an eye on the children, eyes, mouth, face, hand, everything. Theory Y, managers who accept and when to achieve this theory believe that people are willing to. So theory X and theory Y. In theory X, they take McGregor's XY theory. McGregor believed that all workers fit in two categories, X and Y. Theory X, manager who accept this theory believe that people need to be watched every time. And theory Y, managers who accept this theory, people are willing to work without position and you want to achieve. They have already employees on direct on their efforts. They are creative. So McGregor's theory. So in theory X, you are blaming the people that these people are thief. They need to be watched everything. Theory Y believes in the opposite. They believe that if some problem is happening, it's coming from the management, and they try their best to fix the problem. This is the.
Sir, before macros, you said, can you show that macros?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, this it's the same theory. Yeah?
No, these are the different people. Group expectancy theory, Herzberg's theory of motivation. That if you will give good salary, good personal life, good food, good environment, people will stay more. They will be more motivated. If you give them bad condition, toxic work culture, toxic food, bad food, people will be demotivated. They will leave the job. So that, and in reality, it happens. People leave the job because of money, and people leave because of the toxic culture of the company or a bad manager. Motivators can include recognition. That is why you should recognize your people for your work. You should make them that they are responsible, give them some growth and other thing. So in Herzberg theory of motivation, what they say, salaries, wage, and other benefits are there, which is important. Good interpersonal relationship. McGregor's XY theory, what he is saying, that theory X believes that people need to be watched every time. And theory Y says managers who accept this theory believe that people are willing to work without supervision. They want to achieve, they believe employees can direct their own efforts. They are creative, committed, and want to achieve something. So this is McGregor's theory Y. So some companies implement theory X, most of them, and a few implement theory Y. I have put a optional case study about Semler, Ricardo Semler, or if you will see, and then you will see in that, which I've already shared with you all people before. So you will see that in this particular company where we are talking about, they work without supervision. The workers, they work without supervision, and it is doing good. David McClelland's theory of need or acquired need, achievement. These people should be given projects that are challenges, and so there he is saying that there are three types of people: achievement, affiliation, power. So achievement, these people should be given projects that are challenging but are reachable. They like recognition. Affiliation means association. Manage team is the process of tracking team member of performance, providing feedback, resolving issues. Key benefit of this process include team behavior, manage conflicts, and resolve issues. Project management plan PMP provides guidance on how project team support should be managed, and so management term updates, project management plan we know, work performance report, team performance assessment, how is the team doing the work and everything. Conflict management. There are 5 general techniques for resolving one conflict. Each technique has its own place: withdraw or avoid, retracting from an actual or potential or conflict situation, postponing the issues to be better prepared to resolve by others, smooth or accommodate, compromise or recall, force or direct, collaborate and problem solving. So manage teams, tools and techniques. There are 5 general techniques for resolving conflicts. So whenever conflict happen, so the first is withdraw. Instead of fighting, withdraw from those conflicts, retreat from actual or potential conflict. Postponing the issues is a good thing. Smooth or accommodate, try to accommodate the people, maintain harmony and relationship. Compromise, you have to compromise sometime for some particular work. So searching for solution that brings some degree of satisfaction to all parties in order to temporarily or partially resolving the conflict. This approach occasionally results in a lose-lose situation. Force or direct, pushing one's viewpoint of or at the expense of others, offering only win-lose solution, usually enforced through a power position to resolve an emergency. Collaborative problem solving, incorporating multiple views, points, insight from different perspectives. This approach can be a win-win situation for both the parties. Decision making involves the ability to negotiate and influence. Emotional intelligence, EI, is the ability to identify, assess, and manage the personal emotions of oneself or the other people, as well as collective informations of a group of people. Influencing can include ability to be persuasive. What is persuasive? You don't ask somebody to do it, you convince them to do it. Ability to be persuasive, clearly articulating point and position, high level of active and effective listening skills, awareness and consideration for the various perspective in the situation. Leadership is the ability to lead a team and inspire them to do their job well. Project management information system, we know. Management team outputs change request, example, staffing change request, and so on. Managed communication is the process of ensuring timely and appropriate collection, creation, distribution, storage, retrieval, management, monitoring, and the ultimate disposition of project information. The key benefit is it enables accident and clever information flow between the project team and the stakeholder. What are the inputs? Communication technology, communication method, communication skills, communication sentence, competence. The skills that consider factors such as clarity of the purpose in key message, effective relationship and information sharing, and leadership behavior. Feedback. Feedback is information about reaction to communication. Feedback is very, very important. Non-verbal from the body language you can see. Presentation, it is a formal delivery of informal documentation. Clear and effective presentation of project information to relevant stakeholder can include progress report, information update to stakeholder to support their decision-making process. Project management information system, the tools, the software like email, fax, voice, audio, they are all electronic communication management, social media management through website, web blog, correct? Project reporting. Project report is the act of collecting and distributed project information. The format may range from a simple communication to more elaborate custom reports and presentation. Interpersonal and team skills. Active listeners involve knowledge, acknowledging, clarifying, and confirming the activities, conflict management, cultural awareness, meeting management, networking, political. These are just good to read. Theoretical thing, meeting. Risk response, implement risk response is the process of implementing agreed upon risk response plan. The key benefit of this process is that ensures that the agreed upon risk responses are executed. Project documents, lessons learned register, risk report, interpersonal and team skills, influencing, project management information system, and so on. Project document update, if there's any update that is required, issue logs are identified as a part of the implement risk response process. They are reported in the issue log. Lessons learned register, project team assignment, risk register, conduct procurement. You finally conduct the procurement. It is the process of obtaining seller response, selecting a seller and awarding contract. The key benefit is selects a qualified seller and is implement a total agreement for delivery. Conduct procurement, we did already, WFFs, RFS, and all the things, manage stakeholder engagement, project management plan, communication, risk, change management, change log, feedback, ground rules, defined in the team charter as the expected behavior for a project team. So ground rule all includes all action considered acceptable and unacceptable in the project management context. Generally at the start, we say that, okay, at the site, nobody will smoke, at the site, nobody will do this. So this is what we are setting the ground rules, set performance and communication expectation, decrease risk of confusion, improve the performance. Team ground rules should be created and agreed by everyone in the team together. Meetings. Meetings are used to discuss and address any issues or concern regarding any work. Manage stakeholder engagement. Change request, project management plan update, project document plan update. These are just good theoretical things. Validate scope is the last. It is the scope of formalizing acceptance of the completed project deliverables. Key benefit is bring objectivity of the acceptance process and increase the probability of final products. So now comes managing and controlling the project, which we will start in the next class. Anything somebody wants? So I know today was more or less theoretical after the lunch. So it was a big boring.
Sir, can you please explain those theories once again?
Yeah. So these are just theoretical thing. You know what they are saying, that some people like big people, like example, Herzberg's theory of motivation. What they are saying, see, example, if you're working in a company, in which company you would like to work more? If the condition in that company is hygienic means not about neat and clean. It means you are paid right. I'm not saying that you are paid $1 million and something. I'm not saying that. So whatever has been agreed, example, it is agreed that you will be paid X amount of money. Are you getting paid on the right time? Are you not getting paid on the right time? Your personal life and work is balanced or not? Relationship with work is there or not? Safety and security is there or not? So these are the hygiene factors. And what are the motivation factors? Example, you did some project, some work in the company, they appreciate you. So you get appreciated, you get recognized. So, you know, we want a sense of like happiness that we are contributing to the organization and they are recognizing it. The responsibility and growth, there are chances of growth in the company. That is what is the Herzberg theories of motivation. There comes theory X and Y. So managers who accept theory X, managers who accept what they accept, that people need to watch every time. And so and theory Y says managers who accept this theory believe that people are willing to work without permission, supervision. To achieve this, what they need, that you need to do it. So in theory Y, managers who accept this theory believe that people are willing to work without supervision, and they want to achieve. They believe employees can direct their own efforts, they're creative, committed, and want to achieve something. So there are companies or groups where people manage themselves. Theory X, they blame that the people need to evolve every time. In theory Y, this is if you motivate the people, give him position, power, salary increase or whatsoever, they are not looking for whatever you are looking. They can always think ahead of the company. So this is this theory X, theory Y, Murray-Grogas. These are just good to read. Nothing. So once time, if you will read, you will get more information on that. I can send some. Today's which class? Number day. Page number 500. Is there is anything to ask? Otherwise, we'll stop the sharing. Yeah, Richard, you are behind a very nice scene.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Sorry, sir. Still working.
Yeah. Okay. So I just paused the recording.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
I know it was a bit boring, so you have to just read it one side, because after tomorrow we will start Agile, then it will become again interesting. Sense of personal achievement, status, recognition, challenging, stimulating work, responsibility, opportunities for the advancement, preparation, This is motivator factors. So when we say Herzberg theory of motivation, it can be general purpose of doing the job, or when in place these factors result in how to do and when to do, like that. McGregor's XY theory, he believed that all workers fit into two groups, 1 and 2. What is theory X and theory Y? Theory X manager believe, accept their theory, believe that people need to be watched every time. So they keep an eye on the children, eyes, mouth, face, hand, everything. Theory Y, managers who accept and when to achieve this theory believe that people are willing to. So theory X and theory Y. In theory X, they take McGregor's XY theory. McGregor believed that all workers fit in two categories, X and Y. Theory X, manager who accept this theory believe that people need to be watched every time. And theory Y, managers who accept this theory, people are willing to work without supervision and you want to achieve. They have already implies on their efforts, their creative. So McGregor's theory. So in theory X, you are blaming the people that these people are thief, they need to be watched everything. Theory Y believes in the opposite. They believe that if some problem is happening, it's coming from the management, and they try their best to fix the problem. This is the.
Sir, before macros, you said, can you show that macros?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, this it's the same theory. Yeah?
No, these are the different people. Group expectancy theory, Herzberg's theory of motivation, that if you will give good salary, good personal life, good food, good environment, people will stay more, they will be more motivated. If you give them bad condition, toxic work culture, toxic food, bad food, people will be demotivated, they will leave the job. So that, and in reality it happens, people leave the job because of money and people leave because of the toxic culture of the company or a bad manager. Motivators can include recognition. That is why you should recognize your people for your work. You should make them that they are responsible, give them some growth and other thing. So in Herzberg theory of motivation, what they say, salaries, wage and other benefits are there, which is important, good interpersonal relationship. McGregor's XY theory, what he is saying, that theory X believes that people need to be watched every time. And theory Y says managers who accept this theory believe that people are willing to work without supervision. They want to achieve, they believe employees can direct their own efforts. They are creative, committed, and want to achieve something. So this is McGregor's theory Y. So some companies implement theory X, most of them, and a few implement theory Y. I have put a optional case study about Ricardo Semler, or if you will see, and then you will see in that, which I have already shared with you all people before. So you will see that in this particular company where we are talking about, they work without supervision. The workers, they work without supervision and it is doing good. David McClelland's theory of need or acquired need, achievement. These people should be given projects that are challenges, and so there he is saying that there are three types of people: achievement, affiliation, power. So achievement, these people should be given projects that are challenging but are reachable. They like recognition. Affiliation means association. Manage team is the process of tracking team member of performance, providing feedback, resolving issues, Key benefit of this process include team behavior, manage conflicts and resolve issues. Project management plan PMP provides guidance on how project team support should be managed, and so management term updates, project management plan we know, work performance report, team performance assessment, how is the team doing the work and everything. Conflict management. There are 5 general techniques for resolving one conflict. Each technique has its own place: withdraw or avoid, retracting from an actual or potential or conflict situation, postponing the issues to be better prepared to resolve by others, smooth or accommodate, compromise or recall, force or direct, collaborate and problem solving. So manage teams, tools and techniques. There are 5 general techniques for resolving conflicts. So whenever conflict happen, so the first is withdraw. Instead of fighting, withdraw from those conflicts, retreat from actual or potential conflict. Postponing the issues is a good thing. Smooth or accommodate, try to accommodate the people, maintain harmony and relationship. Compromise, you have to compromise sometime for some particular work. So searching for solution that brings some degree of satisfaction to all parties in order to temporarily or partially resolving the conflict. This approach occasionally results in a lose-lose situation. Force or direct, pushing one's viewpoint of or at the expense of others, offering only win-lose solution, usually enforced through a power position to resolve an emergency. Collaborative problem solving, incorporating multiple views, points, insight from different perspectives. This approach can be a win-win situation for both the parties. Decision making involves the ability to negotiate and influence. Emotional intelligence, EI, is the ability to identify, assess, and manage the personal emotions of oneself or the other people, as well as collective informations of a group of people. Influencing can include ability to be persuasive. What is persuasive? You don't ask somebody to do it, you convince them to do it. Ability to be persuasive, clearly articulating point and position, high level of active and effective listening skills, awareness and consideration for the various perspective in the situation. Leadership is the ability to lead a team and inspire them to do their job well. Project management information system, we know. Management team outputs change request, example, staffing change request, and so on. Managed communication is the process of ensuring timely and appropriate collection, creation, distribution, storage, retrieval, management, monitoring, and the ultimate disposition of project information. The key benefit is it enables accident and clever information flow between the project team and the stakeholder. What are the inputs? Communication technology, communication method, communication skills, communication sentence, competence. The skills that consider factors such as clarity of the purpose in key message, effective relationship and information sharing, and leadership behavior. Feedback. Feedback is information about reaction to communication. Feedback is very, very important. Non-verbal from the body language, you can see. Presentation, it is a formal delivery of informal documentation. Clear and effective presentation of project information to relevant stakeholder can include progress report, information update to stakeholder to support their decision-making process. Project management information system, the tools, the software like email, fax, voice, audio, they are all electronic communication management, social media management through website, web blog, correct? Project reporting. Project report is the act of collecting and distributed project information. The format may range from a simple communication to more elaborate custom reports and presentation. Interpersonal and team skills. Active listeners involve knowledge, acknowledging, clarifying, and confirming the activities, conflict management, cultural awareness, meeting management, networking, political. These are just good to read. Theoretical thing, meeting. Risk response, implement risk response. Is the process of implementing agreed upon risk response plan. The key benefit of this process is that it ensures that the agreed upon risk responses are executed. Project documents, lessons learned register, risk report, interpersonal and team skills influencing, project management information system, and so on. Project document update, if there's any update that is required, issue logs are identified as a part of the implement risk response process. They are recorded in the issue log. Lessons learned register, project team assignment, risk register, conduct procurement. You finally conduct the procurement. It is the process of obtaining seller response, selecting a seller and awarding contract. The key benefit is selects a qualified seller and is implement a total agreement for delivery. Conduct procurement, we did already, WFFs, RFS, and all the things, manage stakeholder engagement, project management plan, communication, risk, change management, change log, feedback, ground rules, defined in the team charter as the expected behavior for a project team. So ground rule all includes all action considered acceptable and unacceptable in the project management context. Generally at the start, we say that, okay, at the site, nobody will smoke, at the site, nobody will do this. So this is what we are setting the ground rules, set performance and communication expectation, decrease risk of confusion, improve the performance. Team ground rules should be created and agreed by everyone in the team together. Meetings. Meetings are used to discuss and address any issues or concern regarding any work. Manage stakeholder engagement. Change request, project management plan update, project document plan update. These are just good theoretical things. Validate scope is the last. It is the scope of formalizing acceptance of the completed project deliverables. Key benefit is bring objectivity of the acceptance process and increase the probability of final products. So now comes managing and controlling the project, which we will start in the next class. Anything somebody wants? So I know today was more or less theoretical after the lunch. So it was a big boring.
Sir, can you please explain those theories once again?
Yeah. So these are just theoretical things. You know what they are saying, that some people like big people, like example, Herzberg's theory of motivation. What they are saying, see, example, if you're working in a company, in which company you would like to work more? If the condition in that company is hygienic means not about neat and clean. It means you are paid right. I'm not saying that you are paid $1 million and something. I'm not saying that. So whatever has been agreed, example, it is agreed that you will be paid X amount of money. Are you getting paid on the right time? Are you not getting paid on the right time? Your personal life and work is balanced or not? Relationship with work is there or not? Safety and security is there or not? So these are the hygiene factors. And what are the motivation factors? Example, you did some project, some work in the company, they appreciate you. So you get appreciated, you get recognized. So, you know, we want a sense of like happiness that we are contributing to the organization and they are recognizing it. The responsibility and growth, there are chances of growth in the company. That is what is the Herzberg theories of motivation. There comes theory X and Y. So managers who accept theory X, managers who accept what they accept, that people need to watch every time. And so, and theory Y says managers who accept this theory believe that people are willing to work without permission, supervision. To achieve this, what they need, that you need to do it. So in theory Y, managers who accept this theory believe that people are willing to work without supervision, and they want to achieve. They believe employees can direct their own efforts, they're creative, committed, and want to achieve something. So there are companies or groups where people manage themselves. Theory X, they blame that the people need to evolve every time. In theory, why this is, if you motivate the people, give him position, power, salary increase or whatsoever, they are not looking for whatever you are looking. They can always think ahead of the company. So this is this theory X, theory Y, Murray-Grogas. These are just good to read. Nothing. So once time, if you will read, you will get more information on that. I can send some. Today's which class? Number day. Page number 500. Is there anything to ask? Otherwise, we'll stop the sharing. Engineer Richard, you are behind a very nice scene.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Sorry, sir. Still working.
Yeah. Okay. So I just paused the recording.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
I know it was a bit boring, so you have to just read it one side, because after tomorrow we will start Agile, then it will become again interesting.